moment to stop. Time to go home. Don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me. Let's write a history.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Before I get started on my massive kitchen organization, I wanted to introduce to you a company called Factor. If you have been following me for a while, then you know that I am big on health and fitness, so I was really excited to partner with Factor. Factor provides healthy and delicious meals that are delivered straight to your door. I know for me personally, after having Sailor and Savannah, it's become increasingly hard to find healthy meals that are simple and easy because it's always so easy just to eat the extra chicken nugget off of the girls' plate that they didn't finish. And then over time, it just becomes a bunch of junk food. I lose my energy. I just feel bloated, and I need something that is simple, that is healthy, and that can really keep me on track. And as a busy mom, I also need something that is really convenient. And especially if Chris is working late and I don't cook dinner, then it's so easy for me to grab like a little mac and cheese or a bowl of cereal, and then I always regret it afterwards. Factor has pretty much come to my rescue because they take all of the work out of meal prepping and planning and make it really easy to stay on track. All of their meat is sourced from pasture-raised, grass-fed animals that are antibiotic and hormone-free. They are non-GMO and preservative-free and also have no refined sugar added. Each meal is cooked from scratch from real chefs using the freshest ingredients. Each meal can be chosen for you, or you can pick based on your taste preferences and dietary restrictions. I had them pick the meals for me, and everything I got looks so delicious. But they do have tons of different options you can choose from, such as seafood, veggie meals, different types of meat options. You can even do keto if you're doing keto specific, paleo specific, high protein, lower calorie, low carb, dairy free. I mean, you can customize your meals based on any type of preferences you need. You can also add on options like protein bites, desserts, and juices. The really cool thing about it is that nothing is ever frozen, so it just takes like either 2 minutes in the microwave, or I just stuck it in the toaster oven for about 5 minutes. For my first meal, I made the queso fundido, and y'all, this was so good. And lastly, with a subscription, you can actually get a 20-minute consult with a registered dietitian. I shared a little bit of my meal with Savannah, and she absolutely loved it. Try out Factor, which I know that you will love. Make sure you use the link below to get $90 off your first 3 orders plus free shipping on every order. So let's get started on this massive kitchen organization. This is actually the last part of my kitchen that I am finishing up organizing. In this video, I am focusing on all of my upper cabinets in the kitchen, as well as 2 drawers that I didn't get to in my last kitchen declutter video. The reason why I didn't get to these 2 drawers in my last video when I did all of the other drawers is because I really have to think about how I'm going to organize it and also make it more functional. I know that it's more simple to take everything out and then declutter it and then put everything back in, but I needed to figure out how I can maintain it, meaning what kind of product do I want to use? Do I want to use any product at all? What will make it easier for me to, after I do this huge project, how can I keep it this way? And because that is my main focus when I am thinking about organizing, not just doing a declutter, but actually maintaining the consistency of it. That's why it takes me a little bit longer to start and finish a product, because I like to think about how I'm going to actually do it. So in every single cabinet and drawer, I have new products that I'm trying out, either really, really cheap products from IKEA or Dollar Tree, or some maybe more expensive ones that I know are going to last a while that are from Amazon. I know everyone has a drawer like this. So this drawer in particular is for electronics, like where you keep all of your phone chargers, any type of phone chargers. We have flashlights, electronic stuff like nuts and bolts, or like loose parts that came with different stuff like light fixtures or loose parts to different appliances or anything like that. That is what this drawer is designated for. The white tray that I put in there and that clear tray as well, those are both from IKEA. I think that they were only a couple of dollars. I actually bought 3 of them and I used them in one of my other drawers as well. But what I'm doing now with the plastic bags is that if there was a set of something, like I said, some of the light fixtures had came with loose parts or loose screws that go specific to that light fixture, opposed to taking everything out and organizing it by nails and screws and everything like that. I decided to just keep the sets together. So that's what I'm doing there, is putting everything into little baggies and saying like these screws are for this specific thing. And then that way it's categorized by what the loose part is supposed to go to. Everything else I'm just randomly picking a spot for and seeing how it goes there, what it looks like there, if I have enough space in that little compartment for it. And then if I don't, then I'll just move it to a bigger space or just kind of rearrange and play around with it. I also got rid of a lot of stuff, so everything I was left with was all of these cords, and they go to like phone chargers, and basically they're pretty much all phone chargers or chargers for something. So I have an iPhone and Chris has an Android. So I feel like a lot of the things we have, like headphones or anything extra, they all use that Android charger. So that's why we have so many of those like Android chargers. And Chris, when he got a new phone, his phone charger changed as well. So that's why we have different sets of chargers. Do we need them all? Probably not, but I know that some of those chargers go out, so that's just why we have some extra. Whenever I'm putting everything back in here, I realized I needed a better system for how to keep those phone chargers rolled up. So it's actually the next day I went on Amazon and tried to find something that I could keep those chargers rolled up, and they came in. I had a couple different options to choose from to help keep phone chargers rolled up, but for some reason I just liked these. They're little magnets, so they're silicone, and you put it around after you roll up the charger, then you wrap that around, and then the magnet is what holds it together. There are ones that are Velcro, and those were a little bit cheaper, but I decided just to go with these silicone little roll-up things and see how it goes. So there were a little bit of mixed reviews on these, saying that the magnet part doesn't stick well, but for me, I didn't have any issues with this magnet. I think that it fit perfectly, and it kept everything rolled up and nothing ever came undone. So for me, this product was a win. I'll probably be doing a lot of talking and explaining throughout the video, just so that you can get an understanding of what I did and what worked and what didn't, and what products that I thought were really useful. But I'll go ahead and introduce myself if you are new. I know I'm late in the video to do that. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 2, and this is the last series to my kitchen organization video, but I mainly do lots of cleaning videos. Sometimes I do home decor and lots of organizing projects. I am fairly new to organizing, so I just kind of got tons of inspiration and ideas, and I decided that after 6 years in this house, that I was going to start organizing one space at a time. If you like getting organizing and cleaning inspiration, then be sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my videos. I also share some on my Instagram, Michelle O'Malley 711, so you can follow me there as well. Once I got all of the cords organized, and I'll show you just how big of a difference this was before and after. Don't go wasting my time, I want nothing to do with you. Don't go wasting my time, I had a couple extra of those cord wrappers, so the chargers that we do keep plugged in, I just wrapped it around there so that way it doesn't make a big mess on the counter. Thought I could do this, laugh through the The next cabinet that I'm moving on to is a cabinet that's kind of on the end of our kitchen, and this is where I have been keeping all of our Yeti or those Arctic insulated different cups or those really insulated koozies. And at the very top, I've had some random candles, like if they're off-season candles, like fall candles or Christmas candles, I'll just put them up there at the very top. And then we also had some of those glass beer glasses, which I forgot that they were up there because I never go up there or see them. So my whole idea with this space was that I needed something to be able to grab those Yeti cups as well as the lids. Those cups we use on a daily basis, more so than any plastic or glass cup that we use. So I really needed to find something to where I can see them, I can grab them, I can match the lids easily, and when I wash them, I can put them back a lot easier without having to try and make room and shove everything in there and then just hope that the cabinet door will shut. But leave me a comment below. Let me know the last project that you organized, or if you are getting inspired to organize a different space, let me know which space you are planning on organizing next in your house.
Going down, going down, going down. I'm caught in the end game. I'm caught.
So once I have everything off of the cabinets and I've cleaned up the cabinets a little bit, I can actually see what I have, what we use, and what I need to get rid of. But because my main focus is making the Yeti cups more functional in the space, I got these M-Design cup holders from Amazon. They were a little bit pricey, I guess. They were about $39.99 for 4 racks, and each rack holds 3 cups. So that's a total of 12 cups. I did read the reviews, and these only fit the regular size cups. So if you have the extra large Yetis, like if you can see that blue cup and that camo cup on the very end of this video, those are the larger cup, the larger round cups. Those racks will not fit those cups, which I knew that before I bought them, but I did count and I have enough of the regular size cups and coffee cups that I went ahead and got them anyway. And because this shelf allows me to stack these cups vertically, then I get so much more space out of the cabinet. We have so many of these cups, and most of them were either given to us as a gift or through work.
Sink to the deep end, hurt and defeated.
You can see that I could fit 2 racks on the bottom shelf and 2 racks on that middle shelf. And then with those bigger cups, since I only have, I think I have like 4 of them or maybe a couple more, then I still have space on the right side where I can store those. In my part 1 kitchen organization video, which I've talked about before, and I'll also link below, I completed that one a couple months ago, and I've recently been getting a lot of comments on that video. Why do you have so many pans, and why do you have so many pots? And yes, I have 6 pans and several size pots, so I know I'm going to get a lot of questions on why do you have so many Yeti or Arctic cups. And I'm just going to say right now, I'm not a minimalist. I'm just trying to make sure that the items I have fit the space. I also read this with the Home Edit. They don't go by the minimalist philosophy. They just say don't have too much stuff for the space you have. So if it looks way too cluttered or I have way too much stuff for the space, then I will go down and declutter. I don't like a lot of clutter, but I'm not a minimalist either. So hopefully that makes sense. I just need it to work for me, and you guys should organize to make it work for you as well. But now you can see the before and after in this space.
Strangers again, we're like strangers again.
Next thing I'm going to go through is all of our cabinets with cups. So we have plastic cups, we have coffee cups, we have the kids sippy cups, and then we have glass cups. So we do have a lot of cups. So I already mentioned before that we mainly just use the Yeti cups, but we have a lot of those plastic cups for when We have tons of friends and family that come over, like almost every single weekend we're entertaining. So the kids, like some of the older kids, will just come in and get a plastic cup. I'd rather them grab a little plastic cup than a glass cup, especially when they're outside playing. I use the regular coffee cups. I like having the regular coffee cups better. Chris uses the Yeti coffee cups. So I always like having the coffee cups with the handles because they would fit in my car cup holder. And Chris always uses the smaller Yeti cups for coffee. So leave me a comment below. What do you typically drink out of either your coffee, or maybe you just drink tea in the morning? What do you typically like to use? Those smaller Yeti cups or real coffee mugs? And the last kind of cups we have are all of the kids' cups and sippy cups. We don't typically use the glass cups very often unless it's a special occasion. But my goal here is to take everything out except the glass cups. I think I'm going to keep the glass cups there. Something that's really dysfunctional in this space is all of the coffee cups, all of the kids' cups. I have too many kids' cups, so I am constantly trying to shove them in there, and then hopefully when I shut the cabinet, they don't all fall out when I reopen it. And then a lot of those plastic cups that we just get from random restaurants, or if we go somewhere and they give you a souvenir cup, we have all of those cups. So I'm going to go through and declutter a lot of those plastic cups that we don't need and try to make this space more functional. Another thing that I found on Amazon were these like coffee lids to where you can stack your coffee cups so that you get double the space. So right now I have 2 areas where I keep coffee mugs. So I wanted to just move that down to one area. So these little lid organizers, they're expandable so they can fit different size coffee cups, and you just place them on the top of one and then you stack the other one.
You feel so far away, though you're close. Where's your mind at? I wanna know. A penny for your thoughts. I wanna know what's inside that heart of yours.
So here I'm just expanding that lid out because this is a larger coffee cup, and then I'm putting another larger coffee cup on top. So now I have just one area that holds all of the coffee mugs, and I get double the space out of it. The bottom space where I used to store coffee mugs, I decided to make this kid cups because these are probably the cups that we use the most. I also went through some of the cups that they have outgrown, and those also went in the donate pile. Now these are all the souvenir plastic cups, so I think that I have a whole box of cups that I have gotten rid of, and I'm just basically using the plastic cups that we use the most often.
Where's your heart at? I wanna know. A penny for your thoughts. I wanna know what's inside the heart of yours.
Now before, this space wasn't like terribly unorganized. There was just too much stuff in it, and it was really hard to put away and get stuff. So I am really excited the way that it turned out.
You play it cool, but underneath I know you're hiding something. Do you let anyone get under your skin? I just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know?
And these are all the cups that I've gotten rid of so far. The next space I'm organizing is our other junk drawer. This drawer just got piled up with mainly manuals. So like every time we bought something and it came with like a user manual or a warranty or something, we just started throwing them into this drawer. And then to be completely honest, I didn't know what else was in this drawer because it's kind of like if you can't see it, then it just pretend like it's not there. So that's kind of this feeling I got with this drawer, is that it just, every time I opened it, it stressed me out. So now it's time to go through it and see what actually is in there. I have the girls actually helping me go through this drawer, so when I start pulling out everything, I would hand it to them, and then they would help me put it in a little trash bag, and that way I had decided to throw away most of these manuals. I have seen before that some people store them in filing cabinets. We do have a filing cabinet, and it is jam-packed. I don't know exactly what's in there, but I probably eventually need to go through that too. But my whole idea with all of those user manuals is that nowadays you can pretty much find everything online. So anything that I bought, like for example, like the Dyson vacuum or any kind of thing that I bought that I needed instructions on how to use, you can basically find that online. So that's why I threw majority of them away. The only ones that I kept was that if I had a specific warranty number tied to it, then those were the papers that I decided to keep.
For every word that you say to me, so hard, being drawn to you so easily. I am stuck in a loop of chemicals.
So I want you guys to leave me a comment below. Do you have right now any type of junk drawers that are like crazy cluttered like I have, or for the most part is your kitchen already organized?
On the street said your heart just skipped a beat and that you miss me. It's always a
Here are all the trash bags of papers and things that I have thrown out from that drawer. So now I have used these bamboo drawer dividers. I already had these because I bought them when I did all of the other cabinets in the kitchen, and they work really well. So they're adjustable, so you just have to get the size that will fit into your cabinet. And I decided that any of the warranty type stuff I was going to put on one side of the drawer and divide that, and then I was going to see what I had and then divide everything else on the other side. Those blue trays I actually got from Dollar Tree a long time ago. And after the girls helped me throw everything away, Savannah is like, we are done organizing today. We need to go outside and have fun, which we do later on that day. But those blue bins are from Dollar Tree. I really don't go to Dollar Tree that often. I think I went once and I bought a couple of trays, and I was going to put them in another drawer, and I just didn't like the way they looked. So I had those from a while ago, and I remembered I had them. So since I really don't open up this drawer that much, then I decided just to put them in there. Those little yellow things with the things on the end, those go to our Robo vacuum. And then I also just have a bunch of other more random stuff too. So this is what it looked like before, and now I can actually see everything in the drawer. Next, I am moving on to this cabinet. I tried to organize this, I think, when my girls were babies, and this used to have like tons of bottles and everything that I needed for baby and newborn phase, and I just have not gone and reorganized it ever since they have grown out of that stage. This is also where I keep all of their different medicines and vitamins and stuff like that. And then where we keep all of the adult medicine is in the cabinet next to it, which it used to be in one of our lower cabinets, but in my last kitchen organization video, I cleaned out the lower cabinet and moved it up top. So all of our medicines are organized onto the cabinet to the left, but the thing that I still need to organize is the top two shelves in that cabinet. A main pain point in this cabinet is I just don't know what medicine we have and what is expired. That was a cough syrup, and I don't know, I when I pulled it out of the box, the very end of it had busted, and I don't know how long it had been leaking in there, but it was already expired, so I had to go ahead and get rid of that. So I have tons of baby stuff, like I mentioned before, in this cabinet, and I've had a hard time, or let's just say I've been putting it off organizing this because I'm not sure what to do with all that stuff, because we haven't fully decided yet if we are going to have another kid. So do we save all of it? Do we not save all of it? Do we donate it? I just had a hard time deciding exactly what to do with a lot of this stuff. And then when I think, okay, yeah, I'll just donate all of it or get rid of all of it, and then I just never go in and actually do it. So the first thing I need to do in this cabinet is clean it out. Clean out all of that cough syrup it actually was almost like molasses, so it was hard to scrub up, but I got it all cleaned up.
You should know, no, I'm about to explode.
The next thing I'm doing is going through all of the medicine, or everything that was in these little trays. I know you're looking at it and thinking, oh my goodness, that is a lot of different medicine. And you're right. I have like children's stuff. I have infant stuff. I have extra stuff for like when we have traveled, teething stuff. Like this is stuff from when my kid, Sailor's 3.5 now, and this is probably stuff from when she was a newborn. So I am going through all of it and discarding anything that's expired. I'm getting rid of all the boxes and then putting everything back in a little container where I can easily see it. And I don't know about you guys, maybe you can leave me a comment below, but when my kids were a lot younger, I feel like they were sick like at least once a month. So we do have a lot of stuff from antibiotics and prescriptions and just things that they needed throughout the years. So the whole bottom drawer is dedicated to like medicines and the little cup lids to take the medicine and the little syringes that all of the medicine comes with, as well as vitamins or anything else that they need. I went ahead and organized this, and this is all baby stuff that I don't really use. So I decided that I was just going to put it in that third shelf, and at least it's organized. So if I just decide to get rid of it, I can just pick it up and do something with it, or if we decide to keep it, then I know where it is and I can keep it there. Next, I had plastic bags full of old bottles that were at the very top shelf, and then now this is the other cabinet, the top 2 shelves from the cabinet on the very left, that I also had like baby stuff, pregnancy stuff, nursing stuff, and I decided that I was going to just take everything out that was baby related and go through it and then figure out what I wanted to actually do with it. Now, I know this might not be typical kitchen appliances type stuff to have in your cabinets, but when we moved into this house, I mean, we have tons of cabinet space. In our old house, we probably had about 4 cabinets total. So when we moved into this house, you know, the first thing we thought is there's no way we're ever going to fill all of these cabinets. So there are some random stuff here and there that we keep in the kitchen just because that's just where most of our space is. But like I mentioned, we have tons of bottles. I decided to keep like a few bottles just in case, you know, something happens. I really wasn't sure what to do with all of the other used bottles. The first set of bottles I got when Sailor was born, I kept them because we knew we were going to have a second kid. But then I ended up buying new bottles anyway. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, if there is a chance for another kid, then I might just end up buying new bottles anyway. Or I don't know if you're supposed to reuse them. I don't know if you're really supposed to donate them. But I wasn't sure what to do. But I probably got rid of a ton of bottles and I just kept a handful. And one cool thing about cabinets that I didn't know about is I saw it in another video. I actually didn't know that you could move the shelves from the cabinets by just like unscrewing this little thing and moving it up. I know that seems obvious. I've just never done it before. So in order to get the bottles way up there, because we don't use them anymore, I had to lower that cabinet so that they would fit. But definitely the bottom 2 shelves are the ones that I need to get to quite often, and then the top 2 shelves are more for storage.
It's a bit of piss. So skilled at procrastination. You gotta give me credit for that. Lost you.
And here is the before and after in this cabinet.
Right off the bat. 'Cause you've been sending signals. I guess it's very simple, but I was occupied with myself. Remember that you implied forever, but now you're like whatever and moving on to somebody else. 'Cause it's a bitter pill that I need to swallow.
And this is the before and after in the top 2 levels of my other cabinet.
To be going on without you.
All right, if you've made it this far in the video, then leave me a comment below and let me know your favorite type of food to cook in the kitchen. But I saved this part for last because this would take the most work. So this little wood cabinet or shelf that we have, I bought it a few years ago at a company called Paul Michael, and this is the same company where I got a lot of my Christmas decorations, so it's kind of a local company, but I always wanted to use it as a spice rack. So we finally hung it in our pantry, and this is the last cabinet I'm organizing that has all of our spices. Now, this cabinet does not look terrible from the outside, but let me tell you, it is very dysfunctional. It is very difficult to find a spice, and if I am looking for something, then I have to like take out 5 or 10 spices to get to the one that I need, and then put everything back, and then it gets all unorganized again. So this is just not working. So I'm just going to clear everything out of this cabinet, and I did find these spice organizers on Amazon. I've actually seen a lot of people have them like on Instagram and stuff. So I just decided to get a 24 pack of these like glass containers, and they come with all the different labels. It comes with a little funnel so that you can pour the spices, and then it comes with a pen so that you can write, if there's not a label, then you can write which spice it is. So Chris is my husband, and he's actually helping me this evening do all this. So I asked him to go ahead and find 24 spices that we're going to pour into the containers. We have duplicates of spices because, like I said, if I don't see a spice and I need it for a recipe, then I end up just wasting money buying another spice of something that we already have. So hopefully this will also not only save time but also save money. So he is going through all of them, picking the top 24 spices that we use the most, and also getting all of the duplicates, lining them out, and then we're just going to begin pouring each spice into those glass jars and then labeling them.
We got time to make this right. Can I be the one that you need? Maybe if I change the way I love it, maybe if I try to fix this heart, then I could have stayed the night, I could have called you mine. I can't be the one that you need. Maybe if I change
That little rubber funnel was a great thing to have whenever we were pouring the spices. That way the spices don't get everywhere. But the only thing is that almost every single spice, if there was spices that stayed in that funnel, we would have to go rinse it out and then dry it, because you don't want it wet while you're trying to pour it. Otherwise it would just stick. So that kind of became a little time consuming. So there was a few we just kind of poured free-handedly without that funnel. This kit came with 2 different labels. There was a clear label, and then there was also that black label. So the black round label I have seen people put on the top of the spice, so that if you like have them in a drawer, then you can see the top of it and pull it out. But since we are going to be putting them on that shelf, we put them at the front of the jar.
Maybe we got time to make this right. Can I be the one that you need?
So I realize now that I put the curry powder on a little bit crooked. I had Savannah in my hand, and I was trying to get a good angle for the camera, and pouring all of these spices, I feel like took forever. I don't remember like the exact time, but I know that it just felt like it took a long time, maybe because there was just stuff everywhere on the counter. We were also trying to get the kids ready for bed, and I was just trying to finish up this project. But I am obviously incredibly glad that we did it. The hardest part of doing anything is actually just getting started, and although I know that you're watching this whole video and maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed if you're planning to do some organizing in your own kitchen, but just remember that I just did this one day at a time. I set a goal for the entire week that I was going to tackle 1 drawer or cabinet a day. So over a week's time is when I finished this whole project. And even on top of that, it's taken me years to realize the benefit of having an organized space. In the past, I would just make excuses and say I'm too busy to do anything. And it's true, I am busy, but getting these types of projects done really save time in the future. So I do really encourage all of you to give it a go. It does not have to look Pinterest pretty. Just make it work for your space. That's always my goal in these projects, is just to make it work for me and my home. But now that I have all 24 spices poured, I have plenty of space to add to these 10 shelves. For now, we just kept it simple and put it in alphabetical order, and it's been so much easier to find. Even if just looking for the salt and pepper, we've been able to get it so much easier and faster. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. The last thing I have is all of the extra spices. So when I watch videos and when I see Pinterest, nobody has all of these extra spices. And I'm like, what do you do with all of your extra spices that are not in the little jars or don't fit in the little jars? And so I'm still using this cabinet to store all of those extra spices.
My friends are asking me if I've left the planet 'cause I seem high all the time. They think I'm in a
One thing I wanted to be able to do is to see all the spices. So I ordered this little rack from Amazon, and this will help me level the different spices so I can see what we have.
I don't need nobody else. I'm obsessed with you. Try to stack the bottom under your spell.
So again, I'm moving this rack up because the extra spices that we have that are not like your common spices, you could say, are in a lot bigger tubs and jars. So I'm going to move this shelf up so that way I can fit everything that we use consistently on that bottom shelf in like 3 tiers. And then some of those bigger bottles I'll put in the shelf right above that. With these spices, I didn't categorize them by the type of spice. I just categorized it by the container size. I ended up having to move that second shelf one more rack up, and then everything that went in the top of that cabinet was things that we kind of used on a seasonal basis. So for example, if we have a crawfish boil, we don't use crawfish seasoning all the time, so that's kind of like a yearly thing. So anything we didn't use very often was at the very top, and some of the spices that we used a little bit more that didn't go into one of those glass containers that wasn't a common spice went into this cabinet. So I am extremely pleased with the way that this turned out, and even more so than whatever it looks like, which I think it looks great, but the fact that I can just find stuff so much easier makes it that much better. I will show you guys a before and after here in just a minute, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you got lots of inspiration and ideas from this video, and make sure that you're subscribed so that way you don't miss one of my videos. And here are the final before and afters.
Myself to love. Yeah, I just wanna lose